Hey everybody, it's good to see you again. This is Jennifer with Jennifer Lawrence Art Therapy, and today I want to talk to you about helping your child through transitions. At the time of this filming, we're heading towards the end of the school year where I live, and when I was a teacher, I noticed this is the time of year that all the kids seem to start going nuts, and I can see it in my own little one that things are starting to shift for her. She knows things are about to change. I'm anticipating changes with our summer schedule. So it's a perfect time to talk about transitions. A transition is any time that there's going to be a change. The beginning, end of a school year, maybe your family's going on vacation. So a transition from regular life into vacation life. Having visitors come over. Transition from regular life to visitor life. Even transitions in your daily schedule where you're changing from one state to another. Some kids are very sensitive to any change and need lots of support managing throughout a day. Other kids just need for us to hold space that when things shift and change, that they may need some extra guidance to help them navigate that change. So I want to talk about some strategies that you can use. I like to think of it as minimizing triggers and maximizing comfort. Triggers, change in schedule. So one of the ways to minimize that trigger is to keep a familiar routine with your schedule as much as possible. We already do that as we structure our day around mealtime, which kids are pretty familiar with, you're pretty familiar with. So that's one great anchor point. If there's a ritual that you do at each meal, continue to do that. Continue to have those regularly spaced meals, for example. Continue with your morning routine as much as possible, your evening routine, the going to bed routine. Those types of things are going to help your child anchor throughout the day that even though there are some things different, there's still a lot of things that are the same and they can still feel that level of safety. Hence, triggers are minimized. Maximize comfort in making sure that your child's basic needs are met. Are they getting adequate sleep? That's a biggie, especially as we enter summer and the days are longer and our schedules are a little bit looser. Sleep is still they still need the same amount of sleep. Are they eating on a regular schedule? So is their blood sugar staying regulated? And hydration. Are they drinking water throughout the day to really keep those engines running so that when they do get to a point where they're not quite sure how to navigate, their energy systems are flowing because they're adequately hydrated. Another tip is to have your child help you envision what things are going to be like before the transition, during the transition, and after the transition. Help them make a picture in their head of, okay, some things are starting to change. What is our life going to look like? Is there anything that you need? Have your child give you some ideas. As you're moving through the transition, again, help them anchor into what is it that they actually have control over? How can they create a situation that feels comfortable to them, again, to minimize triggers and maximize comfort? And then after, this is a great place to start building excitement for what's coming up. So we have summer vacation coming up. So we're going to start having conversations about what the summer is going to look like, how our schedule is going to be different in terms of what are the things that we get to look forward to that we don't usually get to look forward to. This is the time of year that I'm going to have my daughter start telling me what are some of the activities that she wants to do over the summer that maybe we don't usually get to do during the school year because we have a little bit more flexibility in our schedule. So we'll put those on the calendar and we'll build excitement and anticipation for those so that when she is starting to feel overwhelmed by things being a little bit different, I can remind her, hey, we've got this coming up. Let's figure out how we can get there. And one of the things I say to her, how can we get there in a way that's comfortable rather than a way that's uncomfortable? All right. One of the other strategies that you're going to want to continue to use is to be very clear about your proactive strategies and your reactive strategies. I'm going to put a link to an article down below that goes over this in more depth. But basically, proactive strategies are all the things we're talking about. What are the things that you do environmentally to set your child up for success? Your routines, maybe your cues, like some kids really need a countdown, like we're leaving in 5 minutes, we're leaving in 1 minute, you should have your shoes on. So those are proactive things so that when you get to the point of actually having to move into your transition, you've already set them up for success. Reactive strategies are those things that you use occasionally when there's a safety issue. Think of it when a child runs out into a street, you respond immediately. You have a response that you know for sure you're going to do. You're going to run after your child and pick them up and pull them back into safety. There are subtler things. So when you've got a kid who we know transitions are hard for and we've set them up proactively, but still you're going to have those times when there's the meltdown, there's the temper tantrum, them not being able to navigate and negotiate what's happening. And you're going to need to respond to maintain safety and to help your child to de-escalate the situation. So you want to be really clear on how you respond, and your child's going to want to be able to predict how you're going to respond. That will set you up for a lot more success than just in the moment yelling or trying to convince them or talk them out of their temper tantrum. And it'll also help you so that your anger stays under control, because let's face it, it's really hard when a kid has a meltdown and it pushes a lot of our buttons. So if you have a clear idea of how you respond consistently when a child needs a reactive approach, they need an approach to maintain safety and to reestablish calm, that's going to help everybody all around. Again, there's a link to an article down below that'll give you some more tips on how to actually do this. Another piece to this puzzle of helping kids through transitions is knowing yourself. And this is, I think we focus a lot on the kids and the things we can do for them, but you're going through that transition also. And what you want to be aware of is, first of all, what's your level of resource going into this transition? If you're starting summer vacation already very depleted and you know that you're going to have more time with your kids than you usually have, what do you need to do right now to start to establish a stronger foundation so that as your kids are bubbling up and they're needing a little bit extra from you, do you have anything to pull on? So you're going to really want to dial in your sleep right now. You're going to want to make sure that you're eating regularly and that you are in a nourishing way and that you're getting your hydration that you need. Do you have things that you're looking forward to with this transition? Do you have an outlet for your own self-expression? And are you getting the support that you need? All those things are things you're going to want to pay attention to so that you're really well resourced going into this transition so that you can support your child, because you're not going to be able to support them unless you yourself are feeling as the best that you can. Also know, do you have any triggers around this transition? Perhaps it's a transition that your family wasn't expecting and it's bringing up stuff for you. Again, your wellness is going to be, taking care of your wellness is going to be really important. Having your own support system in place is going to be really important so that you are available when your child needs you. So put yourself at the top of your list, moms and dads and grown-ups who take care of kids. Make sure that you've built time into your day so that you can provide your own level of care to yourself. The rest of the stuff is going to fall into place and will make a lot more sense when you know yourself and you're taking care of yourself. I want to finally offer something that you can do with art materials around this, around transitions. One of the tools that I really like is to create a nature basket. And that's simply just get any dish, basket, any kind of surface and go outside and collect. Have your child collect anything that draws their attention. And the container, it doesn't have to be gigantic. It can be small so that they're not collecting a ton of stuff, but collect some interesting items. If it doesn't make sense to go outside, you can always collect things around your house that have different textures, different color qualities. They could be a collection of their favorite like miniature toys that they like. I know my daughter's really into dinosaurs, so she's got, you can probably see behind us, a dinosaur museum set up behind me. So it doesn't really matter what you do. It's really nice weather here, so nature feels good to us. Put those in a basket, and then you can do a ton of stuff with that, especially when your kid is starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed. You can always say, hey, go check out your nature basket. Why don't you tell me what some of those materials feel like? Or why don't you arrange those materials in a design that feels comfortable? What you're doing is you're helping them to pause, to slow down, be in the here and now, and let their nervous system know that really they're safe. And then you could, as they kind of de-escalate, you can provide them with some extra support. This is a great tool when you're starting to notice that kind of lower level agitation. This is not when someone's in full tantrum mode. Tantrum mode, you're gonna be responding differently. Again, see the article below. But this is like when there's just that agitation, or people are bored, or they don't know what to do, or they're having trouble getting organized. Help them, let them use the nature basket as a tool to help them organize. One transition that's a really biggie is transition into meals, transition away from whatever you were doing before the meal into the meal. You can have them take the items in the basket and set up a lovely arrangement so that when everyone comes to the table, there's something beautiful for everybody to enjoy. All right, so just to summarize, transitions can be hard. We all know that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna set yourself up for success by minimizing triggers and maximizing comfort for both your child and yourself. Pull out those art materials, use those to help you with all of this, and feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions. All right, be well and enjoy. Bye.